How you guys doing today? My name's David Jackson, and I'm here to talk to you guys about headaches and why we get them, how we can help prevent them, and then also some of the dangers and risks lurking behind more frequent headaches. Now, how many of us have had a headache by now? Pretty much all of us at this point. Well, according to the medical news of today, headaches are one of the most common complaints out at the moment, and the World Health Organization states that almost every adult has reported having a headache over the last year. Now, who can headaches affect? Well, headaches do not discriminate. Headaches will actually go against and attack everybody, regardless of what your race is, regardless of what your color is, regardless of who you are. More people complain about headaches than any other medical alignment. There's approximately about 45 million Americans complaining about headaches each year. That works out to be about every 6 people or so who end up getting headaches. Now, $1 million question at this point in time is exactly what is a headache? Now, headache can best be described as either pain in the head, the neck, that's either sharp, dull, aching, the squeezing sensation, or, any pain that, is undescribable that's going on in your head. Some of the types of headaches that, we are at risk for include sinus, migraines, mixed, hormone, chronic, acute, or even tension headaches. Tension headaches are probably maybe the worst in my opinion, only because those are the ones that feel like a rope or something squeezing your head. Now, some of the truth behind headaches are, headaches are not actually really caused by your brain, trying to jump out of your head. Headaches are more caused by overly active pain-sensitive structures in the head. So more like neurons and nerves and vessels that are basically becoming inflamed and causing that aching pain on your nerves. Headaches are usually warning signals that are your body trying to tell you that, something's going on and you kind of really need to go get checked. So whether it be, getting checked for high blood pressure or getting checked because your sugar is low or getting checked because you didn't eat or sleep right, 9 times out of 10, that's pretty much what you kind of need to do. Now, take a look at this little chart right here and see, any of these things are some of the stuff that you see that were happening before you got your headache or even after you got your headache. Now, looking at this chart, I can see, most of the things obviously are going to be forehead pain, temple pain, migraine pain. If you're straining to see all the time, for all those people who are like picking everything up and squinting like this at it, those are going to actually end up leading you to having some headaches. So those are some things that you should probably get worked out for and go get some glasses. So what does a headache actually really mean? Once again, going back to saying that, headache can range for a number of things. And some of the lower risk things are, as you can see over here in this picture to the right, eye strain, sinuses, hunger, migraines, or even the tension headache like I described before. Now, some of the more severe things that you also need to take into account that you may also kind of be cautious of is that you may be having some high blood pressure or an aneurysm, a tumor, stroke, or even some blood clots going on. So you definitely kind of want to, tread lightly when you have a headache. Now, here's some of the things that, we can do to help prevent headaches as well as, help keep us from getting headaches. So, we have some foods here. Pretty much one of the main things that we can go about doing is drinking a lot of water. Water is probably one of the number one things that we can do to help prevent us from having headaches, as well as eating right and, exercising more frequently. And, people who tend to get a little bit more lazier probably end up having more headaches, and it's always not the best way to, try to drink some caffeine or eat some ice cream or anything that, that's going to make your headache worse, because it indeed will do so. Now, right here is a video that I have here that I was going to let play about headaches, but for the sake of time, and I'll go ahead, I'll go ahead and skip this video for a moment, and I'll leave a copy of the link in the description so that way you can go back and watch it if you want to. But some of the treatments of headaches, can be use medicines and non-medicines. We have some over-the-counter things like, Excedrin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, NSAIDs, or even more, I guess, extreme medicines like narcotics, like Percocets, oxycodone, Vicodins, or something like that you can take for headaches, which I wouldn't recommend. But we also have some non-medicinal things like acupuncture, ice massages, vitamins and minerals, getting adequate sleep, making sure you exercise a lot, trying to relax, meditation, changing up your diet, some herbal remedies that I really wouldn't advise playing around with because some herbal remedies can be very dangerous. And then, some type of spinal manipulation like spinal taps, letting fluid leak up. Now, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video and taking effect that, headaches are not anything to be played with, and, try to make sure you keep an eye on how many headaches you're getting, how long they're lasting, what medicines or what things you're doing to try to treat them. One of the main things that I definitely feel is very important when you get a headache is first at least trying to drink some water and doing some like little tests like pinching your skin so just kind of like stretching out a little bit, seeing if you're catching any cramps, changing up your diet, trying to figure out what you eat, just a lot of different things that you should definitely do to try to prevent yourself from getting some headaches. Now, hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for listening.